Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A few moments ago, this crowd whipped into a frenzy as J.J. Watt and the Texans D was introduced, and this unit will be in for a stern test as they match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes. Right. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run with Thompson. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Desmond King making the tackle. A look there at the defensive starters for the Colts. They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
Black 22! Black 22!
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He finds Humphreys. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
Holding, offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Third and long. It's Watson. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. Now they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. 8 catches, 120 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up 3rd down. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Again, it's Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Flushed out right. And he slides to avoid the hit. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Watson on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me,
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Flex round! Flex round!
A second down throw for Brissett. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet. Get a little wrap yardage.
They have a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. The Broncos, they've taken an early lead against the Chiefs. Case Keenum leading the charge offensively. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Off of play action, it's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Wait a second, they did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Dylan Cole. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Reset. Blue 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
3rd and 2, Watson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding. Offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back, Good job declining that penalty.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 17 carries, 78 yards.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they're going to have to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to it.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. To throw is Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. That'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. He'll air this one toward Coleman. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Hey, flag 22! Flag 22!
Watson hands this to Foreman. And an alley to run. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed,
Yeah, I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Brissett. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Kayvon Webster there to make the tackle.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Second down, Brissett. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. In for the score. And the Colts are in for 6.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
And it feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football. And that's exactly what happened there.
Zerline out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now Thompson. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Reset. Hey, green the line. Green the line.
Here's Watson now on second down. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. He just joined the double-digit party with that last pick. He now has 10 on the season.
And that takes a great amount of skill, study, a tad bit of luck. But bottom line, he's had a heck of a season.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Brissett now on second down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Gun, Brissett. It's complete to Grant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Ohio!
Play action now, Brissett. And that is incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 40. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphries. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turn.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Back to throw, Watson. He gets it to Humphries. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a 1st down. Watson now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dante Hightower in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Flag 22.
They'll run with Foreman. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, Watson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They come out here in the eye. They'll go with Foreman. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans are in for 6. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look at that. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Brissett. Flush to his right. And his throw here is incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman. And now it's 3rd down. Well, the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the 2nd quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows. They're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. To throw on 2nd is Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They go play action here on 1st down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
From the gun, here's Brissett. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face
Automatic's
mask.
first down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
Brissett on 1st down. being chased out left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing, Brissett. His throw incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Flex round! Flex round!
On third down, it's Mack, and he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. Brissett now. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts are in for 6.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to misstep misfortune on the next kickoff because there's still a little bit of time left on that clock.
Yeah, you do have to bring that up, don't you? In the NFL, every play is critical. And if you give up something cheap there, all that advantage they just gained goes right out the window.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. And it's the Saints who have the lead in the second quarter. Phillip Rivers has thrown a touchdown there. From there, we head up to Kansas City. Check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. The Broncos trying to hold on and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses...
Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's going to air one out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Brissett. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Here's Matt. And room to run as he's out past the 35-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 3rd down, that's Matt. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. His first carry, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play fake, Brissett. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. The Colts on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Here's Brissett. He sets to fire deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation instead. Tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
There with a tackle, Dietrich Wise Jr.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Again, a run with Thompson. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Third and long. It's Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
Now a carry from Mack. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And Justin Coleman brings him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Staying on the ground with Mack. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it, too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know the rule is first guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On 2nd down, Brissett again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 3rd down, it's Mack. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And here comes the Texans now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he will find his way forward to about the 23-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Hey, green the line! Green the line!
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. There defensively was Matthias Farley to knock it away.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Fielded at the 20. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. By the way, they're into the 2nd half now in Philadelphia on the NFL scoreboard. And an impressive display by the Eagles. They continue to pour it on, scoring again. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz. This is
back now in Houston. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. A 2nd down throw for Brissett. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball...
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Colts pick it up. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further.
Holding. Defense.
Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
first down, Brissett. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put in.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Oh, no, he lost the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long.
Come on, let's go!
Brissett sets to throw it. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll run it with Mack. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Hines. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
Ohio! Ohio!
This is 3rd and goal. Brissett. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. As his guys are in for 6. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long,
encroachment.
They've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. from the gun. Here's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, two-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Here's Watson. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Watson. And now running right through it. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
Down! Move 80! Move 80!
On the ground, it's Thompson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Hey! Move 80! Move 80!
On second down, here's Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Move 80! Move 80!
Watson, off play action. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jarrett Davis, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And Bullock will put this one through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Brissett. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed him. Instead, 2nd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Down! Black 22! Black 22!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Gets past 1 man. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Dietrich Wise Jr. in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
Black 22! Black 22!
He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. And now we're going going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. And they take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Indianapolis, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they will head